Guys, thank you so much for taking the time to talk about the special. I have the "Everything's Fine" while I've been waiting to talk to you. I have that the theme song as an earworm in my head. So let me ask you this, Natasha. We'll be directing questions individually to sort of make the Zoom work. Given that the most of what you directed is narrative, episodic, for episodes, is sort of having this the format of the special, which I don't want to spoil, is to sort of makes it more liberating as a director to be creative, or was it actually harder to put together? If you could speak to that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a little bit of both. I mean, what's fun about directing something so against the odds of in this pandemic, in this moment that's up against the time constraints of the election is inevitably you end up with much more freedom, I think, than you would have if this had been like a 3-year process. It was just inevitable that, somebody was going to have to put their spin on it. And I see the world in a very specifically cracked way that to me really speaks to the kind of paranoia of the moment. So I think that it was this a great opportunity because, the writing was very strong and Sarah is so strong and, we were all working so hard, but that the nature of comedy is that it allows for the surreal, and the nature of this moment is that it allows for a wider scope of narrative paranoia, and thanks to the fact that probably not that many people were working right now, Maya and I were able to put together just an extraordinary team of people behind the scenes to really bring this thing to life, and the actors and everything. But hopefully it feels a bit like a combination of narrative with kind of flights of fancy that anything goes. I would often think of sort of, that Terry Gilliam was obviously, started with Monty Python, long before he became the maker of Brazil. And I would use that for myself as a sort of touchstone.
I would love to see your Brazil, and this is wonderful. So Maya, let me ask you this, because you've gotten to do, I mean, the people who you shared the screen with over your career are the very best. So how does Sarah, I mean, I know, but I want to hear you say it. How does Sarah as a talent sort of hold up, and how was it sort of producing this fantastic special around her?
Well, it's so rare to, to come to someone in this way, because I didn't know her actual speaking voice until we met her for the first time. But then she, like Natasha said, this is her moment, and she came so ready that once we heard everything that she wanted to put into this special, she was already brimming. It was like overwhelming. And so exciting because she was completely eager to go on the ride, and it was just a matter of getting it done. And I think the amount of trust that she put in us, because it is frightening for anyone to do this for the first time in such a large way, was, I think, what also gave us the feeling of we're on the right track, we're doing the right thing, because she was willing to take a journey with us. And that really speaks volumes, to find someone that you can collaborate with in this way. And that still feels good about their voice being used, and their face being the face of this, but at the same time relying on us to help get her there. So it was a completely different experience for all of us, I think. And one that I think is so unique and speaks so much to the time that we're living in. And it's like everybody just, grabbed what they had and went to work. And it felt really gratifying for that very reason.
No, it's a wonderful surprise, because you come in with preconceived notions of what the special is going to be, and then it sort of blows the lid off. So Natasha, let me ask you this, because I feel like I'm tap dancing around Marvel spoilers, because I want the people to enjoy all the surprises that you guys have done. It. So let me see how I asked you. We get Sarah in a familiar, we see what she's seen in sort of the lip syncing way. Did she let herself be directed, or did you not have to give her any notes because she's been doing it so successfully?
Oh yeah, I mean, well, she's just the master of that, obviously. Like I would always defer to her, and I'd be like, "Listen, you're the one that knows this." But it was so great in a weird way, though. I do think that probably the element that was like a little bit curious is just she's obviously performing it on a much bigger scale, sometimes with multiple cameras and stuff. In the writing process, I remember that, Maya and I and Paula would encourage her to kind of put even more descriptions inside of, you know, so part of what she does that's so extraordinary is, you know, the way she'll, you know, choose to use a shower curtain or something out of nowhere. And so almost just like that reminder of, you know, here it's kind of like, we're going to do that thing too. I think she's so used to kind of just knowing it inside of herself and probably using the things around her house. But yeah, it was just, and then there were also just all these extraordinary ways in which our team, like Tracy Gigi Field, who is the costume designer, for example, she's the one that made, you know, the towels in one of the scenes monogrammed. So it was just kind of like this small addition that was just like when you kind of, that's like the joy of collaboration, and which is it just starts building on itself. And then that becomes like, of course, that must have always been there. And it's, you know, just everybody working at their max capacity to make something special.
All right, so my time's up. But before they push me out of the room, thank you so much for the interview. And I have to tell you, so we are a Slums of Beverly Hills household. We love, my wife and I love this movie. So we deeply, deeply enjoyed the mini reunion that there is in this special. So I have to give you a shout out for making that happen.
I'm so happy to hear it. Thank you so much, Juan.
All right, you guys have a great day. Stay healthy wherever you are. Thank you so much.
Thank you.